Well, this is a surprise. It's like the first wrestling podcast I've done in months. And you,
I'm
months.
sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
No one's fault. Nobody's fault.
Except for the asshole lighting fireworks behind my condo.
Yeah, we were just talking about how you got to inventory your life over certain situations.
So for those who didn't hear, there was a fire in my home on the 4th of July. So I've been displaced since then. And I think understandably not really up to watching a whole lot of wrestling, podcasting, talking about it. But what happened yesterday as we record this, we watched All In live from London. And JD texted me either during the show or after the show, and I was going to respond to him. I was going to respond to you. Sorry, I'm like talking to the listeners, but I was going to respond to you via text. And before I like laid out all of my thoughts, I was like, this is dumb. I really miss talking to you about what I thought about wrestling. Let's record tomorrow.
And I was happy. Like, I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to impose because it's a life-altering thing. Like, kind of it's patient and hoping. It's
been unreal.
Basically. And
I appreciate that. But that's what happened. Literally, you texted me just to say something about the show. And I was like,
I was excited for the main event. We hadn't talked wrestling in a while, and the last time we spoke about wrestling and was the preview of Forbidden Door, which I just never released.
Oh.
Never released it. And I didn't have the heart to. And then a couple months passed, and I'm just going to wait until she's ready, or when September rolls around and bowling starts and I have a lot more free time. That's kind of what my timeline was thinking there. But before we jump into All In, I kind of want to do like a summer of AEW thoughts leading up to All In and All In the show. So we previewed Forbidden Door. We were very excited about the Ospreay Strickland match. We weren't really sure who could win that match. We thought there was no wrong decision. Little did we know Stephanie Vacker and Monet, Mercedes, were going to put on like a 4-star classic kind of deal for women's wrestling. Right. And then Vacker, like a week later, goes to WWE. Very expected, though.
Was it even a week? It was like instantly.
Oh, yeah. Well, as soon as she put on the match, WWE all of a sudden picked up the phone and they're like, hold on.
Right.
And I mean, I really enjoyed what Forbidden Door was going to do or what they did and how the show was kind of put together with highlighting Zack Sabre Jr. It was really the beginning of the Bryan Danielson quest for the title with his Owen Hart Foundation tournament win on the show against Shingo, which I really adored. And then he would go on to win the tournament along with Mariah May on the women's end. And that would be kind of the two major stories taking us through the summer, along with Will Ospreay and MJF, along with Swerve Strickland as the definitive champion of this promotion. What did you think of Forbidden Door overall?
I don't remember. I'm just pulling up the card right now. Honestly, just the past month and a half, 2 months since the event in my home has simultaneously felt like it happened like a week ago and 5 years ago. Time is just... So you're talking about Forbidden Door, and I'm like, wasn't that like 3 years ago? But I'm looking at the card now.
Yeah, it was just end of June, and that's kind of when all of this happened.
Yeah. I wonder if I took any notes. Hang on, let me pull up my wrestling notes.
Well, anyways.
I just don't remember. Okay. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Hard.
Fair enough.
That far
I'll continue with my thoughts of the summer of AEW with Let's see, I mentioned Ospreay MJF. They had that 1 hour match on Dynamite with the shock ending kind of just before it with MJF winning. They continued Strickland in the main event and highlighting him, which I thought was done excellent. And then there was a constant presence of Mercedes slowly turning heel throughout the summer, leading up to the Britt Baker return and all that. We had the Mariah May turn on Toni Storm right after she won the Owen Hart tournament, which I thought was a tremendous angle. And that led us into Blood and Guts from there.
Yeah, so the last time we spoke, the women's division was already on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
And even just since the last time we spoke in mid-June, holy crap, look at what this scene is now, especially after what happened yesterday. It's a completely different animal.
Yeah, the landscape's
landscape's
changed. Hopefully the Britt Baker performance kind of gives more perspective on the overall need for her in the division, but I guess we'll get to that. Using a lot of they're using a lot of the women in different roles other than a title challenge of the month kind of situation. Like Shida has lost every major match she's had this year, like all of them, and it looks like she's gonna turn heel and start beating some ass. Yeah, with some kendo sticks. Willow and Chris Statlander have a rivalry I'm very much a fan of. They're pretty much doing what I think I've wanted out of Beyond Wrestling for so long is let's get some like feuds with hate situation instead of so much comedy and people kind of being one note. But look, Beyond Wrestling, Chris Statlander was just so over as a like child hero for little girls and the audience and everything. And I've said on the past, like turning Chris Statlander heel, it's like I'm sure it'd work and it has worked, but it's tough to get that kind of crowd connection with even with a younger audience.
Agree.
Yeah. I think the black mark of this promotion right now is unfortunately the Young Bucks and their corporate storyline that they're doing. I can't stand it. I think it's bad TV and it's a waste of their talent. And it's kind of dogpiled an entire division, or two of them, in fact, because the trios, they don't know what to do. I mean, I can't handle the Young Bucks for like the first time in my life, and the storyline, and like Jack Perry's putting on good things, but anything the Young Bucks are doing, I mean, it's filled with bad matches, cliche angles. It's very WWE, TNA, mid 2000s type. I think it's junk.
It's hard to argue with that. Going into tag match at Wembley, all I could think was, I don't care about this tag division or this tag title right now. And that's sad. Got really sad because tag wrestling is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, the tag division was so full and so many storylines and so many teams that they had to create a trios belt.
Right.
Now both are floundering, and I don't know.
So that was the negative, but the positive has certainly been the main event. I've really liked the rise of the women's division focused around Mercedes, even though she doesn't have the main title. Toni Storm's in-ring has completely turned around. She's found a good balance between the wacky character and the in-ring style is there. Case in point, All In. I thought the match nailed it out of the park. I thought that was great. Now, do I think the Toni Storm character is too much for me and my taste? I think at this point she is. I'd rather see the punk rock girl, you know?
Yeah, I went so hot and cold on the Toni Storm character. and mostly cold until Raya finally turned. And then I was suddenly interested again. And I think they did a really good lead up from the turn to Wembley. I'm really interested to see what Tony does with this character next. Does she stay timeless? Does she pick up another movie trope? Or does some sense was knocked into her and she turns back into Tony Storm? I don't know. I can't wait to find out, actually.
Yeah, my main issue with the Tony Storm character is it delves too much into comedy, even when she's trying to be serious, and it still just comes across as corny to me. The match that really, it's her build match with Soraya in Cardiff was like World of Sport grapple comedy, and I'm like, you're supposed to be building to facing your person that betrayed you and bloodied you up with the shoe in your face, and yeah, they built it into the match as they did, but Tony Storm needs to be more serious to me and not this comedy goof that she delves into. But we'll see what the character delves into and she's performing in the ring mostly outside the one match I had an issue with, so at least we got that going for us. That's been kind of the summer of AEW. Like, I mean, we could go on and on with Danielson's build and his family and Swerve being able to go in and out of the character between him being a dastardly heel when needed to someone the fans really connect with. I think that takes a lot of effort and work. He's done a great job as the guy was only champion for 130 days or something, but he's a made man now.
Yeah, agree. It was a career-making title reign.
And I was thinking about it. Besides the Kenny Omega reign, which I really adored, and the great matches, I can't think of another reign I'd put. But Moxley during the pandemic was certainly different.
Sure. And Hangman's reign was more about the getting to the title than
the title itself.
He had some good defenses, but
the Swerve reign was so impactful for AEW and him, and what the title meant. It brought that level of prestige back, and that's something we've missed since the CM Punk days. I think what happened with Punk in the title really derailed what it meant to be the champion of AEW. And it took the transition of Samoa Joe into Swerve, which really finally got us back on track. So tremendous work by Swerve. I think it was tremendous booking of the guy. I thought all the character beats and notes from the moment after he won the title all the way until the Danielson win, I have no complaints. I think it's like, now I'm thinking, do I put it above the Omega reign? And I don't think so, because maybe from a business perspective, Omega still hit it harder, and I liked a lot of the matches more.
Maybe,
but it's tough to say anything bad about the Swerve reign. It's so good.
It was the right move at the right time. I guess we had talked about maybe they should have done it at the previous pay-per-view, not waited till Dynasty. But aside from that, man, ever since he came to AEW, even when he was doing tag stuff with Keith Lee, all I could think of was, this man is a fucking star, and shoot him to the moon. Like, the charisma, it just like oozes out of him. And like you said, the way he can situationally swing back and forth between being likable and empathetic and whose house and being the worst person you know.
Yeah, he's able,
has range. I mean,
Yeah, the range is incredible.
Like if I'm saying like if there's movie roles out and you can't get Michael B. Jordan and you can't get Sterling K. Brown, call Swerve, man. He can fucking do it. Man has range.
So let's get into this all-in card. Pre-show was essential, or the 0 hour was essentially get everyone on the card, which I enjoyed. It's like it was good to see all the people of AEW that you could think of kind of represented here. They even threw in the mixed tag match with Stokely, of all people. Maybe could have picked someone else to be actually in the ring with Statlander and put on something a little better, but it still got the point across.
He's a trained wrestler. He trained at the Performance Center for a time, don't forget. And if you haven't seen the cinematic match between Stokely Hathaway and Orange Cassidy, oh boy, you're in for a treat. Go find it. Go watch it. It's one of the best things you'll do for yourself this week. It was just a nice gesture.
Yeah, they should have done this last year. They really should have. With the crazy amount of people in a single match on the 0 hour. I really wish they would have done this last year because there was a lot of people mad last year.
Yeah, that's true.
And before the show started, Saraya and Harley Cameron come out, berate the crowd, and then we got Jamie Hayter's return. I think they missed a layup here.
By putting it on free TV?
No. The Jamie Hayter return.
Or by getting her involved in Britt Baker.
Not even like truly involved with Britt Baker. I mean, she has the history with Toni Storm. They could have harkened back to like some sort of Stardom connection, or just simply have her come out and be like, I want to challenge for a title. I'm the ex-champion. I've been out for a while. But instead they put her on the 0 hour to just kind of beat up Saraya, and I'm like,
Okay. I had thoughts on this. My thought was I was thinking from a business point of view.
Mm-hmm.
If you put Jamie Hayter's return, which is huge in the UK, and the Pop made that very clear. You put that on free TV, and you haven't bought the pay-per-view yet. If you see Jamie Hayter return, aren't you thinking to yourself, if they're giving this to me for free, what are they going to give me on the pay-per-view? I'm going to plunk down my hard-earned money and buy this pay-per-view. I mean, that is why they did it this way. I think getting her involved in Britt Baker or Tony would have been more impactful storyline-wise. But I think that's why they did it, and I think it probably worked.
All right, I guess we disagree there. But then we got to the main show. Yeah, big crazy ladder match in which Pac is now with the BCC. So Lucha Brothers on their way out.
I have a question about that, though.
Okay.
So actually, first of all, I want to point out that it was very smart for them to do the entrances on the 0 hour.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Start the pay-per-view with the match. Obviously, these epic pay-per-views are crunched for time anyway. But again, having the entrances on free, for free, you get hyped, right? You see these guys all coming in the ring.
No, that was a good decision.
With their amazing entrance.
That was a good decision.
Brilliant.
Like that.
Okay, but my question is, it didn't really explain how or why Pac ended up with ECC, right? Other than he was just like, I need my Wembley moment, and he scooched in with those two. They didn't make any reason, like, did Claudio and Yuta say, like, we want him on our team because he's good? No, I didn't hear any of that. Or did I miss it?
No, I didn't hear any of that either. I think it was just meant to get, like, Pac was supposed to be on the card. they totally retconned the Pac and Will Ospreay / MJF storyline. Like, didn't care for that, but hey, we got a title change. We have a good trios champion team now. Looking forward to more there. Mariah May defeats Toni Storm. What's up?
I'm not mad that it happened.
Oh, okay.
And everyone knows how much I love Pac. I'm not mad about it. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. And yeah, just that. I mean, Pac. I'm so happy he got his Wembley moment. I was just a little confused.
Do you think they're going to call these things Wembley moments, kind of like WWE, or are we calling it All In moments? Because Wembley is going to be in Texas next year. Or All In's going to be in Texas next year.
I guess we're going to have to start calling them All In moments. Since it's not at Wembley next year. But
I think that was a good decision for them to go to
Wembley
Texas.
Moment.
I like them kind of switching things around and putting Forbidden Door in London and giving them something unique and special. And it kind of recharges the batteries on the yearly thing.
For sure. And especially, I mean, the Texas crowd, after their residence at the esports arena in Arlington.
What a success
that's a
that
small
was.
Crowd, and they were so hot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Texas is the right place.
I am hoping that AEW looks at that Texas residency, the esports arena, and they start treating not just like Daly's Place in Jacksonville, but places like esports arena, and they can go there once a year. It's a really special event, or maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And they could treat it like a normalcy type place. Like, this is where we made our name for ourselves, and then do more residency type things for Collision / Rampage in other regions. Like, how cool would it be if they do like a New England residency loop? You know?
Yeah. Sure.
I just throwing New England out there for no particular reason.
Right. No, for no real reason.
No way. Mariah May defeats Toni Storm. Toni could not use the shoe. Very dramatic. And then she gets booed in the knee in the face a couple times. I love how Mariah finished her off with her own move. I thought that was cool.
I thought it was very cool. Except, why is Toni the only one who doesn't know how to counter her own move?
Well, it's a snap. It's a snap quick pile driver. You can't get out of that easily.
Okay. like there have been so many other stories where like it's just not enough because the opponent doesn't know how to do it properly, right? Is the story that Mariah has studied Toni for so long, she knew how to do it properly? Maybe that's the difference.
She could.
We
could
saw
do it just as impactful.
Mercedes. We saw it. Mercedes didn't know how to do the mouth thing. What is I can't even remember what it's called. Lockjaw. The mouth thing.
The mouth thing.
But Mercedes couldn't figure out how to do the lockjaw, right? We've seen it in countless other, men's matches with finish. People trying to do each other's finishers, and even if it looks okay to the audience, the guy taking it always kicks out because you don't quite got it. Yeah. Mariah's got it.
I really like Mariah May. She does need a little bit more promo work, but everyone needs work at that these days. Unfortunately, that's just how modern wrestling
I think
is.
She's great.
But in ring, Mariah's up there with the best. She's got the look. She's got the skill. Look, less than a year in the company. Won the Owen, won the title, ended the timeless reign in a great match. Really liked it.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that storyline crossed what's it called? Industries, cross media, whatever. I have a very good friend who has a degree in film studies.
Ooh.
And when I told him that they were doing this All About Eve storyline, he didn't tune in per se, but he was definitely invested in the storyline. was also invested because Mariah May is super hot, but
well, I mean, this is true.
Yeah, it had multi genre appeal, what's the word I'm looking for?
I got you. I understand. Chris Jericho loses to Hook, FTW title. It continues. Hey, I like the learning tree thing. Hook and Jericho.
Since when?
Since
when do you like the learning tree thing?
Hey, I like what it's become.
See, I'm the opposite. I liked it at the beginning.
Oh, so we've flipped.
And I'm
okay.
pretty over it now.
I'm more or less over. I'm more or less just over Hook and the FTW title. I want to see him do something different.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I definitely want him to reunite with Shibata and Joe. Earn his towel.
Yeah, that'd be like, what a trios team that would, like, do something cool with that. That's more of what I'm kind of concentrated on. Like Jericho, fucking third from the bottom on a card in like a 10-minute match. It's harmless, and he's working under. It's fine. Match was like, it was all for Taz and Hook to get the father-son pop together. It's fine.
Oh, and yeah, I welled up.
We kind of went over the tag title a little bit here. I have really just no thoughts over this. I'm so over this Young Bucks shtick storyline.
I'm just over all three teams.
Yeah.
All three teams. I'm done with all of them. I'm done with any iteration of combination of the three of them competing. Acclaimed, I'm just so ready for Bowens to go on a singles run. I've been ready for him to go on a singles run for.
I just want these people to do things different and not the corporate.
Over with the crowd still.
Yeah, just do different things, and they've just been doing the same thing for forever. This was the match I just had no interest in. I'm the opposite of invested. It's turn off the TV for me at this point, and like they put in like a 2.5-star match. I'm like, this is stupid. All guys involved are better, and I thought they stunk the place up.
It was not great.
No. What was great was this gauntlet match.
Holy shit! This is what you texted me about.
Yeah. And I'm like, and a very unexpected winner. The Hangman Page is despair. Continues. I've loved his summer altogether. He's always after Swerve and wants him, and he's going crazy. He's mentally damaged, and for him to lose this match on top of it, to get involved in the main event and not have a direct, wasn't directly involved in the finish situation. I think the booking of Adam Page has been phenomenal all summer. I'm super invested in the character, and this match was a blast. We got Luchasaurus. Nigel McGuinness came out. Ricochet debuted. Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel were involved. Okada. We had a bunch of like grapple fuck people and flippy guys. And to my own despair, Jeff Jarrett gets a big pop, and I just can't fathom what has happened in this world where we're watching Jeff Jarrett be over in 2024 in a major company. I mean, it's bad enough we got to watch him stink up the place on Nitro, which we haven't watched in like 2 months, and I'm kind of very okay with that right now. We still got to talk about Slamboree? I think it's Slamboree. The Triple Cage. We still got to talk about that. But that'll be for another day.
I do have notes from that. Did we not record it? Okay.
No, we did not.
Yeah, so, okay. Okay, here are my thoughts on the gauntlet match. AEW has tried since 2019, get their version of the Royal Rumble right.
Yes.
We've seen the Casino Battle Royal with the 5 at a time. We've seen a couple of other iterations. And I think they finally nailed it. I love the suspense that it could end at any time.
Yes.
It might only be 2 people, right? I think that's an amazing twist on an already cool premise. And then, so
yeah,
watching this match
it
go
flips.
by.
You want to be first, not last.
Right. Yeah. It's super great. So I'm watching this match, and I forget the order. It was Orange, then Okada, then Nigel, and then maybe Kyle came out next. And I'm just watching the quality of the wrestlers in this match, and I'm like, this is the mid-card match? Like, what is happening right now? Just the quality of talent that they have in this ring. Of course, it's for a world title, but I could have been happy with any of those people having a world title opportunity. I did get swerved by Luchasaurus coming out as Luchasaurus. I still think, I mean, the turn is coming, right? Like,
does it need to?
I don't know. I don't know.
Think so. I don't think so.
Don't know.
I think it's good.
But oh my gosh, I screamed when Nigel came out. Apparently there were reports before the show that he was going to be there, but I hadn't read them, so it was a huge surprise to me. And the fact that Nigel came out and the only person in the ring at the time was Okada was just
that was cool.
And then just everybody, just the quality of wrestler in this match is just bonkers. Like, really.
It was a wacky slew of people.
It was the best. It was the best. This one, and what was the one? It feels like a year ago. Maybe it was longer ago. Maybe it was more recent. I don't know. There was one where Orange Cassidy won it. He won it by kicking Swerve's hand off the rope, and he fell to the ground.
Wasn't
that was the best one up until this one.
Wasn't that the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal?
I have no idea. No. Only MJF has won the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Well, no, that was the match that got them to face MJF, right?
Oh, I don't remember. I just know that was the best one up until now. Now I'm not sure which one's better.
I mean, I like this one.
Are you Googling it? Are you Googling it right now?
Yeah, I was right. It was 2020. Wasn't it?
No.
Oh, no.
Is that the one I'm talking about?
No.
That's not the one I'm talking about. Hang on.
Let's see. Blackjack Battle Royal International Title, Double or Nothing. It was that one.
Okay. So, Double or Nothing, not this year, though. 2023?
Yeah, it was the last year's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was the last really good version of this match.
I don't know. I really like the gauntlet match from earlier the year with Will Ospreay winning.
He won 2 of them.
Yeah.
He won one at Daly's Place, and he won another one. Yeah, this is the right format for the match.
Yeah, this one right here is the best. I love this, and they've done it a couple times now. I think they need to treat this match more special, and that'll keep it special. But love it. It was my second favorite match on the show. Phenomenal match, 4 stars plus kind of deal. That was followed by Will Ospreay against MJF Part 2 for the American title. MJF love his little custom title thingies. 26 minutes. It was awesome. It was great.
It was a fucking great match.
Daniel Garcia comes out, does the whole mask reveal thing, punches MJF.
Okay.
Good storytelling.
So earlier in the day on Sunday, MJF tweeted that the Dynamite Diamond Ring had been stolen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
I thought that was going, and I thought that was going to be a storyline thing in this match. but they never talked about it on commentary. I think it was legitimately stolen because MJF did go for a foreign object, like a brass knuckle type thing at one point. I think it was supposed to be the ring. I think the ring was legitimately stolen.
Oh, I must have missed that because I thought Daniel Garcia had stolen it, and that's what he punched MJF with when he did the reveal.
Oh, if he did, I missed it. I was so distracted by Garcia showing up because when he first sauntered up, I thought he was Moxley. And then he revealed himself, and I was beside myself because Garcia has been one of my favorites since 2021. So, yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. We'll have to we'll have to rewatch. And
I guess
see
so.
If
Yeah,
Garcia has
I could have sworn maybe I'm Mandela infecting myself. That's possible. But Mercedes Moné defeats Britt Baker, a 17-minute slog of a match. I didn't think this was very good, but it's Britt Baker in the ring. You put her out there forever. She's coming off a major injury.
Sure.
On top of that, I mean, to me, it was a losing formula from the get-go. Mercedes did her best. Baker tried to hang in there, but she just doesn't. She's never had it to begin with. I thought maybe there'd be a lot more charisma type spots in there, but they didn't do a lot of that. Too many things in slow motion. I don't know. 2 stars, I guess.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question for you. Have you ever seen a wrestler, any wrestler in any time period, whose success in the ring depends as much on chemistry and vibe as Britt Baker?
I mean, I've been doing a lot of Greg Valentine comparisons with Britt Baker lately because of...
I don't know that person, so...
Yeah, old 70s, 80s wrestler who was notoriously kind of boring, but had a couple matches, and he wasn't very good, but he had a lot of, like, weird crowd connection. Greg Valentine was that's who I've been comparing Britt Baker to.
That makes sense. That's what I'm wondering, because you've seen some matches of hers that were real shit. Like, I think it was Riho that she had like really terrible chemistry with, no matter what anybody did. Maybe it was Shida. She and Shida, I think, figured it out eventually.
Shida knows how to work with Britt Baker. That seems to be like the only person.
Okay, then it must be Riho that she just can't wrestle.
I mean, there's really, quite a few people Baker terrible. Can't wrestle, but
no, I hear what you're saying, and I agree, and it is crazy to me how much it depends on chemistry.
I mean, to me,
she's had good matches.
Sure.
She's had good matches.
So did Greg Valentine. He had a couple. He had a few. He had a title reign I was really into when I was a kid. The Intercontinental title, and watching old VHS tapes, and like Britt Baker's title reign wasn't like the drizzling shits, but it wasn't great by any means.
No, and I think, hang on one second. Sorry, I need to adjust. Sorry, new equipment takes adjustments. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
Well,
I don't know. She I want her to succeed. She does obviously have an obvious connection with the crowd.
Well, there's 3 people in this company right now. One came in too late, and I think with a lot of the new talent and the rising talent that are improving, the company is passing them by, and they can't keep up. 1 is Britt Baker, 2 is Thunder Rosa, and 3 is Deonna Purrazzo. They are of the skill level of kind of the generation previous, if you catch my drift.
Mm.
I still think there's something there. Like, you can always find something to do with Britt Baker because of the charisma and her crowd connection.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder Rosa is kind of the same way. and Purrazzo has a lot of character's not the right word with her, but like confidence.
Clout?
No.
Aura, clout, something.
I'd say confidence with Purrazzo, but like to me, they're not the tippy top stars that can rise to the occasion in this particular company. This company, AEW, and I'll even throw out like a Stardom or a Marigold that has hit the scene in the summer, which I have yet to talk about on this podcast. I'll probably
can't wait to hear you talk about that.
I'll probably do a joshi, like summer joshi special. Since I'll release this as like the summer of AEW special, but
okay,
like Mercedes, Mariah, Tony, Sheeta, these Willow, Chris Statlander, they're just better than the three prior that I named, and it continues to show, and they have more to give to the company, and that's why you're seeing them get booked more and more. And you see Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo, while I did enjoy their little mini feud that they had going on, it never connected with anything because they're just not that tippy top good or interesting. Not anymore.
Okay. 2 follow-up questions.
Okay.
First, I'll start with Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo because we didn't touch on that in our recap. I thought that feud was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I never tired of it. Every match was different and good.
Yeah, I think AEW should do more stuff like that. We see it on Ring of Honor with like Queen Aminata, Red Velvet Company.
Right.
I wish they do more with Athena at this point, but her
2024 she's injured now,
is nothing.
But okay, so then my second follow-up question. So we mentioned so you said it was Mercedes. No, sorry. Deonna,
Thunder Rosa, and Britt Baker.
Oh my God. Yeah, thank you. So Deonna, Thunder Rosa, and Britt Baker. I'm just asking for conversational purposes. I'm not, whatever. Is that strictly based on in-ring, or is it based on just general interest, or all of the above? None of, like, what?
I think it'd be all of the above.
Because I'm wondering because the 3 that you have on that list, maybe would now seem like a better fit for WWE. Maybe is that the difference? Is it the pop rock versus the punk rock, or is it all in ring? What?
I mean, if we're talking about like where I think they'd fit in better, yes, WWE.
Not to say there aren't great wrestlers in WWE either, but it's different.
Yeah, like Ricochet joining AEW, I think, is a tremendous move for him and the rest of his career, because I think he's tailor-made for the style of this company. It's kind of like when
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you see a hockey player and he's on the Chicago Blackhawks, wearing a shirt right now of that, but it's like, and you're looking at a who would be an example? I don't know why. Or Patrick Kane. Here we go. You're like, Patrick Kane's at the twilight of his career, and you're thinking to yourself, at least I was, it's like, this guy should kind of move on from the team. Maybe he has something to offer somewhere else in a fit, and sure as shit, he goes to the Wings, and he's lighting the lamp up, and he's just such a better fit with the style of that team in this particular era. While the new era of the Blackhawks is all about Bedard and a young, spry team rather than someone trying to get back on their feet kind of situation. Maybe that went over people's head with the comparison, but that's what I was thinking of. Or a soccer player leaving Manchester United and going to play in Spain. The styles contrast, and one will fit better with another person somewhere else.
Sure. Yeah.
Jack Perry, Darby Allin, coffin match, very short, 10 minutes. Young Bucks actually, like, this is a role I could get behind, as them being dastardly heels, wanted to light someone on fire, and then, hell, we got Sting to come back with Seek and Destroy. Who could say no? Very weird for a 10-minute match like this to be the semi-main event.
I was surprised how short it was.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they had a few other things planned. Maybe the Mercedes match went long. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something else went long.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking at
kind
of looking at the other times on this. I mean, 15, 20 minutes. This is pretty typical of an AEW show.
I agree. I'm speculating right now. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe it was just running late. Simple as that. And then we got Danielson Swerve. 26 minutes. Danielson's wife and kids ringside. Really had to make that noticed. Swerve making the little girl cry, and then Nana going over there and doing the dance right in front of the crying child.
Okay. That was all amazing, but that was all amazing, and I was just super distracted because Darcy, the male girl Prince, was standing right behind them. No. I don't know if you know who she is. Do you know who she is?
No idea.
Okay, so she is a huge AEW fan.
Okay.
I started following her on Twitter because she is a huge AEW fan. It turns out she is the host of a weekly Triller TV show where they watch bad movies. It's called The Last Drive-In with Jim Bob. It's been on for years.
Oh, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, it's been on for years. It used to be on AMC. Now it's on Triller.
Is this the same show that
old horror movies?
Is this the same show that got The Room to be like a cult hit?
It might be, but Danhausen has done a guest spot on this show. Anyway, she's also, in addition to her being the co-host of this show, she's a big horror movie fan. She loves AEW. But the reason she rose to prominence is because I believe she was an adult film star at one point. She might still be. And she has
to make the joke.
massive
What'd you say her name was?
Up to her. So Darcy the Mill Girl Prince is how I know her. She's at Kinky Horror on Twitter. She literally has tits up to her chin. And she's standing right behind Brie Bella during this thing with the family. And that was all I could see. Anyway, enough about boobs. It was an amazing spot. And the same was like, when Swerve was laying it in on Danielson, and Danielson looking over at his family. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm doing this for you. I love you. I mean, just bringing the family in was just intense. Are you distracted now, looking for Darcy the Mill Girl?
I don't recognize her.
She's at a lot of the big AEW shows. Usually towards the front. She will often write a phrase like like across her boobs, so when the camera's on her. Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Anyways.
Love her. She loves the product.
Well, good. That's always fun. Always fun to have fans. So there was a lot of chatter during the summer about should Hangman have been in this position. I think at this point, no. Tortured Hangman is best Hangman. And the longer that they keep putting the Swerve thing off, the better. And since Hangman has not been on Swerve's mind at all, this got him back into that. So I think that was a good additive to the story that was needed. If they do the match Swerve Hangman at All out in a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems too soon, but hey, it should be awesome. I think they could build it overnight. It's not further build it. It's been built for like years at this point.
They've been building it for months.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but
they could swerve and do it at any point.
That's that. The match is going to rock. I'm salivating for it. I kind of hope that they hold off on it for another couple months or so, like torture the man further. The Danielson build to this, I thought, was phenomenal. Mixing in Swerve's range to get into this character for this particular storyline and delivering the match the way they did. I'd have to go through my list of my favorite matches of the year. I'm not sure this would make my top 10, but
it's up there.
How impactful this was on the year. I think this will be one of the most memorable matches of the last number of years. I mean, people are going to remember this match for a long time.
Yeah, this is one of the ones that you're going to remember where you watched it.
Yeah, this has the staying power.
Bar or
Yeah, this has the staying power of a kind of match. And okay, I've wanted to ask you this question. What did you think of the spot where Danielson hits the knee and Swerve just brushes it off?
That will forever resonate in my mind. Talk about staying power. That's it for me, man. I mean, you know what a big Swerve fan I am. Oh, hang on, I lost an earbud. Hang on.
I'm kind of wondering because it was. I mean, it was clearly played off of the same with the Will Ospreay spot from Forbidden Door, where Ospreay goes for that hidden blade. He's just got nothing left, and Swerve just kind of goes, "Nice try, bud, but I gotta put you down now." I kind of wish they would have done the exact same thing with Danielson, except Danielson was able to. Well, I mean, they kind of did because he hits the last call, and kicks out, but it didn't. It didn't come across.
3 has calls.
Yeah, 3 of them, but it didn't.
3 house calls.
I'm conflicted because it didn't seem like Danielson was in that same state that Ospreay was, where it looked like he was for sure dead kind of situation. But hell, did it? It bought the crowd. Like, it got the crowd.
Right, but
it got the crowd.
That was the point. Like,
yeah,
it was too early to believe that Danielson was down.
Yes. If they would have done this same spot at the end, the very end of the match, like even after the Hangman real interference, right? I think it would have had, there's like certain spots and moments I would have switched around to really get more impact. But I mean, the ring bell spot was like the main one. I wouldn't change that.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm at upper 4.5 with this sucker. I loved it. Great ending. Great match. Phenomenal. I'll remember it for a long time.
My biggest disappointment of that match was the UK crowd did not do the na 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 chant for Prince Nana. Like, that is their go-to chant. There is a guy in the ring named Nana, and you don't go na 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 na.
Cheeky.
So that, and my only other major disappointment of the evening was there was no Oku appearance in the gauntlet. Although when you see the quality of wrestler that was in that match, it's fine. As soon as Ricochet came out, I realized Oku was not going to come out.
No.
At that point, if Oku had come out before Ricochet, whatever. But I'm still excited for whatever they have planned for him. I know he's on their radar. He had that great moment at their dark match And I can't. Oh, and he dropped the belt at Rev Pro, so he's coming.
He's a curious case. I'm wondering how he's going to translate to a larger audience.
I think Amira helps his case a lot.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Geez. So my biggest concern with AEW bringing in Oku was whether or not they would include Amira. I mean, she was there with him on the.
She certainly helps.
She was there with him on the dark match.
Yeah,
and she makes such a difference. I mean, man, there hasn't been a really great wrestling valet on television in a long ass time. I mean, Heyman is amazing, right? There are like advocates and Zelina Vega with Andrade, and the NXT run was phenomenal. But
I guess that was the most recent one.
See what it.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what a glam valet can do on American television in 2024.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm just so excited for them to be on TV.
Yeah. I'm excited for what AEW is going to bring us for All Out, and I'm excited we're back. We're doing this again.
Yeah, I hope to make it regular. My schedule is going to be unpredictable for the foreseeable future. You know, I'm going to have to run out to the house and meet contractors and whatever. But yeah, this feels so good. I've missed talking to you about wrestling.
Missed it.
I know we've checked in with each other briefly, but
we're out of practice, but we're back now.
I miss this. Yeah.
It was good talking to you again. We'll do it again next time.
Miss you, buddy. Bye.